Hello everyone, and welcome to the Otacast. I am your host, Ray the Offbeat Otaku, and for the first time in Otacast history, we have 3 hosts, not just 2. One new, one old. First, a good friend of the show, WeebTrashProductions.
I'm gay!
Same. And then our other host, introduce yourself, Goukeban.
Okay, I'm first worried about someone just said I'm gay. So are we supposed to allow homosexuals here?
Only if they're memeing.
Only if I'm the homosexual.
Okay. Oh, nothing against it. I was supposed to be born gay, but something just went wrong in the process.
Yeah. I remember you saying that.
Yeah. So I'm Goukeban. On YouTube terms, I'm nobody. I have no channel, no videos. I'm just a guy who has my name scattered around in multiple database, anime database sites. I'm usually just I'm usually easily finded on Mao because I believe I might be the only Goukeban in Mao.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm just like watch anime and occasionally write reviews. You can easily find my reviews; they are the best.
I thought I just referred to you as that one guy I see replying to Subsonic Sparkle all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just checked, and you are the only Goukeban on Mal.
Mm-hmm.
You also have a Twitter. I'll be sure to link all the Twitters in the description and such. So, anyway, here on the Otacast, 1 to 2 people join me every, I wish it was week, but I'm terrible, so it's not. And we talk about a random show. We've introduced our host, but not the show. The show in question is Toradora.
The greatest romance of all time.
One of the greatest anime of all time.
I do love it a lot.
Definitely in my top 10.
I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I can't think of a romance show I like more.
If fucking Karekano didn't turn to shit in episode 15, then yeah, it would be better than Toradora, but...
Don't you mean episode 18? I haven't even seen the show and I know the episode.
18 was the episode where plot happens. It's an episode where significant plot happens in and out. And episode 19 is where these things start to crash and burn. Episode 19 of Karekano is the one with the popsicle stick animation.
Oh, that one. I mean, it was aesthetically pleasing, but it was still a shit episode.
And basically the rest of the show goes to nothing because the author withdrawal permit. She withdraw consent to do the show, for Guy Next to direct the show, and then the episode 18 was the last one that had Ano in it because Ano dropped it because the author was nagging him and then said, "I quit."
Yeah. So, but anyway, Toradora. Everyone knows the premise already, but we're just gonna quickly say Toradora is about 2 diametrically opposed people, Ryuji Takasu and Taiga Aisaka. Ryuji is a nice guy who looks like a thug. Taiga is a girl who is not nice at the start, but looks like she'd be a cute anime lolly. They both have crushes on each other's best friends, and they both kind of need each other and their neighbors anyway, so they become friends and vow to help each other get together with their friends, even though it's pretty clear from the start that they're gonna end up together.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's fun to see all the things unfold and that very satisfying conclusion. It keeps you edging until the final episode where you finally have that giant climax, and I can't do an analogy with that. It doesn't have to do with masturbation.
None of us
I don't think
truly can.
I don't think anyone of us were thinking your analogy had anything to do with masturbation, but hey.
Not at all. Completely wholesome.
Oh, I'm the only one pure here. Oh.
Alright. So,
You know, I'm the oldest one here. I'm not supposed to be the innocent one.
true.
This is true.
Yeah. Weeb is the only kid here, and he's the least innocent one.
Niggers. Anyway, Toradora.
Whoa, man.
You're gonna get. So we're trying to get Ray's channel taken down already.
Yes. Okay, so...
Just so anyone knows, WeebTrash is a man of color, so he's allowed to say that. Okay.
This is
Anyone who's watching the Otacast knows WeebTrashProductions. He is the biggest YouTuber. Watch out, PewDiePie.
But anyway, fucking Toradora.
So we've given a little synopsis and shit. Now, this was my first time actually watching the show, but that is not the case with you guys. So yeah. I'll let Weeb go first. Talk about your discovery of the show.
Well, this is a long-time favorite of mine, and by long time, I mean like a year and a half. And,
Long enough.
yeah. But, I watched it on a whim, back in the summer of 2016, and I knew nothing about the show. I didn't know what to expect. But then I watched it in, like, a couple days, and then I was sad. But it was also amazing. So, and then I watched it again. It was even better than I remembered, and gave me even more of the feels. It was even more perfect. And now on my rewatch, I realize it's in my top 10, and it has literally no flaws. It's perfect.
And how about you, Goukeban? How'd you discover this show?
Well, I discovered the show when I first came back to anime because I spent some time away from anime. I came back to it by the end of 2014. So, and I started like trying to get into more of this stuff. I had missed more stuff. More genres. I haven't been checking out that much. And I was trying to find an anime that had I was trying to watch some romance anime, but I was more specifically trying to find an anime that had a tsundere that I did not hate.
That's a pretty hard thing to do.
Yeah, because I think at the time I had recently just a while before watched Zero no Tsukaima, which is awful.
Oh no!
And I despise the main characters so much. And then I wanted to find because I'm not fond of hating an entire genre or an entire archetype. So I wanted to find an anime that had a tsundere that was fine, that was a good character. And then I looking forward to the romance anime. I heard of Toradora. And then I decided to, especially watch Arcada's review of Toradora at the time, because at that time I still had patience for watching reviews. So
Nice.
yeah. And then I decided to watch it, and it's really hard. It became like I watched it in about 3 days because it's really hard for me to binge watch stuff. I usually don't do it unless it's something I really like. But then I watched Toradora in 3 days because it just had the dynamic that kept pushing me to watch it, and it was an instant favorite. As it gave me that void where after I watched the last episode, I go to watch something else, and it just seems so weak in comparison.
Oh yeah, me too. It gave me that void, which is the price you pay for any really good show that
Yeah.
you finish, because like you love it, but then you obsess over it. And with me, I think it's particularly terrible because like after I watched this, I tried to watch some other romance shows and I hated them all. I tried to watch some other shows in general. I couldn't get the same emotional attachment.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see feeling that way. And yeah, I thought it was really interesting when you had said that you wanted to avoid hating specific archetypes or genres, because that's how I try to approach things too.
Yeah, me too. Anything can be done well. Any premise can be done well, which is why I don't care about premises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, good concept is a good thing, but execution.
Yeah.
A good execution is always like the best option.
Yeah, I see a premise is nothing more than like just kind of a descriptor.
Yeah.
But yeah. With all that said, here on the Otacast we start out with the presentation, and this show looks and sounds really good.
Oh yeah, especially the facial expressions, which is something we commented on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the facial expressions are all perfect in this show. And they don't rely on like the generic expressions. I mean, they sometimes do that, definitely, but they will craft like a unique face, and it'll be amazing at all times.
Even just our main character Ryuji's a pretty good example of that.
Yeah.
Because they gave him a unique face, like it automatically makes him a less generic character than if they had just made him another like brown-haired, brown-eyed harem dude.
Toradora is one of those weird examples of shows where you have a design style that doesn't seem to have anything drastically different from the rest of anime, but it doesn't seem to there doesn't seem to be another show that replicates that design style to the same effect, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like it doesn't look totally out of the realm of most anime, but it doesn't really have any like specific show you could immediately compare it to.
Yeah.
Even like other JC Staff shows, which JC Staff was of course the studio who animated this. A studio which is both a big name but also tends to fly under the radar.
Yeah, like you never really hear them. You never really hear like an anime they made being discussed all that much, but you do hear about the existence of them all the time.
Well, how about Shokugeki no Soma? How has it been in popular mindset?
Yeah, sometimes they'll get a big hit like that people talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Or a cult classic like Utena.
Yeah, but Utena is, for anime standards, is ancient by now. So it's...
And also like, I don't like a whole lot of other JC Staff shows. I don't like Sakura So. I don't like Food Wars. I don't like Golden Time. I don't like Prison School. But I like this, and they did a pretty good job on this one, I guess.
I'm usually fond of their the stuff that I've seen from them. I haven't seen Prison School because I hate that.
Good.
But I've read the manga and it's awful. But I tend to be fond of JC Staff's animation because they have at least in stuff like Toradora, Index, Food Wars, they have really fluid stuff. Really fluid animation. It's usually the one thing that I can see frequently in shows I watch from them. Or maybe I'm just watching the good examples.
Maybe.
Probably.
But yeah, the Toradora does have a pretty fluid animation.
The only other show from
most
them
of the time.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Weeb. The only other show of theirs that I've seen so far is Azumanga Daioh. which I liked.
Yeah, I like Azumangdaioh is okay. Yeah, the animation is great.
The soundtrack is also pretty good. The first OP is iconic, but aside from that, I feel like the general music in the background is pretty good. It uses a nice little mix of like piano songs, electronic songs.
Yeah, and the great thing about it is a lot of these melodrama shows, they will just hit you over the head with fucking music. They'll try to make the music as emotional and loud as possible to get the most emotion possible. But Toradora keeps it subtle. Toradora has just the right amount of sad music during its emotional scenes.
Let me try to find the name. Let me try to find the name of the girl who made because it's very Toradora's soundtrack wise is very reliant on acoustic. It's more of a lot of acoustic stuff. I'm trying to find like I have the girl who made the soundtrack among my list of favorite people, and it's someone at any list. Let me find it.
Yukari Hashimoto. I think that's the one you're looking for.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she also made the opening for Golden Time, and it's in that same in that same mood. A lot of acoustic stuff, very mellow, because she doesn't. It is not a soundtrack that has a lot of spikes. You know, the song doesn't have a lot of spikes. They are very mellow. They build up a lot until they get to the main heart of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they paid a lot of attention to the soundtrack, and this is probably one of my favorite soundtracks, along with the soundtracks to Hibernate Renmei and Silk Experiments Lane and Technolize.
Yeah, I think I did really like it, but I think I'd have to listen to parts of it more in the background. But like, it is interesting because even though this show, it's like a pretty big mainstream hit. It has over 800,000 members on MAL. Like most of those other like really big shows, I don't really remember a lot of the music from. Whereas this show, there would be a song that cuts in, and I'm like, whoa, yeah, I'm digging this.
Kari Hashimoto. She also did a song for Sangatsu no Lion.
Oh, okay. I need to watch that one.
One of the best anime of the year.
I don't watch current anime, so I didn't watch it, bro.
Go watch it. It was one of the best anime in recent years.
Oh yeah, it's on my plan to watch.
Yeah, along with my other 200,000 shows I need to watch.
Yeah.
I don't even make a plan to watch these because otherwise the pressure just kills me.
Well, I deliberately manage mine to avoid that because I could just make it like 1,000 shows long, but instead it's only like 80 shows long because I just collect favorites from other friends' lists that interest me.
Anything that even remotely interests me, I'm just like, yep, I'll watch this one day. Might as well put it in the list.
Among other things she has done, theme song, the opening song of Koikaze. Has anyone else watched Koikaze?
Oh
I
yeah,
really want to.
It's the incest one.
The good one.
Yeah.
The good incest anime.
Yeah. While we're talking staff, we should probably bring up the big duo here, Tatsuyuki Nagai and Mario Kada, the writer and director and writer of this show.
Let me check out Nagai because I haven't seen much stuff from him. I haven't paid much attention to his name.
Yeah, he it's interesting when you look at his list because like his biggest shows are Anohana and Toradora, which so you'd kind of expect him to just kind of direct other shows like that, but he also did stuff like Iron-Blooded Orphans, the recent alternate universe Gundam show.
Hidou Session Gundam.
Yeah.
Yes. Took a little bit of time to connect the dots. see. Toru Kagako no Certain Scientific Railgun, also director. Hana.
My Hime.
Well, you only did the OP for that show.
Okay.
This is my first time watching anything directed by him or written by Mario Okada, despite her massive level of infamy.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
What is she infamous
a lot
for?
of people hate Mari Okada.
Oh, why?
Melodrama XD.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, seems to be polarized in that regard because her series are. I think she was also involved in Nagano Osukara, and her series are very heavy on drama, so it goes sour to many.
But here's the thing, like, the why a lot of melodrama shows are complete shit is because they often skip the characterization and go right to the feels, which then makes it feel manipulative. But with Toradora, it eases you in. It has that effect where it gives you more of the slice of life episodes at the first half, where you'll get more emotionally attached to the characters through mundanity, which is one of my favorite things that any show has done, or one of my favorite archetypes, I guess. And then it hits you with the feels, which is the best way to do it. I don't know what else she's written, but
She wrote Kisniver.
oh, I don't like this show.
For another melodrama show.
Kisniver's a piece of shit. I hate her now. She's bad. She's my least favorite writer. Toradora's a 1 out of 10. Kisniver's a 1 out of 10. Everything's a 1 out of 10. I hate anime.
No. We Cross. That's another one. Red Garden. It's interesting when you look at her list because it's kind of all over the place. Like Kanan and Gosek.
Gosek, I don't know. I have seen just the first episode of Gosek. It doesn't seem like something that would go heavy on melodrama.
I've seen the first episode I see like the first 5 minutes of Gosek and wanted to die.
How soulless are you?
But Weeb, you always want to die.
Yeah, but Gosek made me want to die even more because I'm a pretentious faggot who hates fun things. If it doesn't have to do with depression or brooding characters, then get that shit away from me. Unless it's K-On! Because LOL memes.
I was about to say that this show doesn't have to do with depression, but then I was like, no, wait, it does.
It's because fun things are fun.
All those shows that I named to some degree interest me, though. So
yeah, I have on my massive backlog that I never get into because I should stay away from seasonal anime just because of that.
Good.
I have Gosek, Kanan, I have Honey and Clover, all waiting to be watched. And she seems to have been involved with she's been involved with all of this, or at least second season of Honey and Clover. Don't know about the first one. But
moral of the story: watch Digibro's video instead of our ramblings.
No, just watch Mario Okada's stuff. Then you can form your own opinion on her and be a decent human being who doesn't base your opinion on other people.
I'm not saying you need to absorb Digibro's opinion. I'm saying he made a good rundown of her style and the stuff that she's done.
No, Ray, I get all my opinions from the bearded otaku who's fat and gay. And
I believe you mean dead and gay.
Oh!
He's all three of those things.
Fat, dead, and gay. He's definitely American.
I agree. We're a bunch of baka gaijins. This is why we run the anime podcast. because we know they're superior to us.
This podcast has been like weird tonally for me because I've been listening to the Toradora soundtrack in the background for the whole time.
Probably should do that.
So in one hand you're getting those emotional, the feeling that you get is you should be feeling something wholesome and emotional, and in the other hand you get to douche talking crap up on your ears.
Yes.
Yep.
It's weird. I don't like it.
This podcast is already a clusterfuck, so I'm gonna go and look up the OST to make it even more of a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like we don't really have that much to say presentation-wise, other than, like, you know, it's good. Character designs are good. Oh, that makes me think of a funny thing. So the artist for the original light novels is named Yasu, and Ryuji's mom is also called Yasu. I feel like this had to have been done intentionally.
I think it's Yasuko.
Well, they call her Yasu for short a couple times, at least in the dub, which is good.
Yeah, the dub is surprisingly good because I'm a full-on weeb, hence my name. So I usually hate all dubs. Like, the only good dubs to me are Space Dandy, Welcome to the NHK. There are a few others, but also this one is great.
Yeah, the only thing I'm willing to, at the time, the only thing I'm willing to watch on dub is School Rumble, because that's how I watched it first time. And because I'm not necessarily I'm not against dub. I'm not a complete weeb in that regard. But it's very hard to find anime DVDs where I live. So I'm mostly locked to online stuff. So I'm just gonna watch sub anyway, because that's how I used to it. And I like watching. And I like spotting out some of the voice actors I'm interested in. Like whenever I see some Sakurai or Fukuyama around, I rather not miss that chance.
Also, fucking, this dub, the voices all surprisingly fit. And, the dub voice actor for Taiga also voiced one of my other, faithful waifus, Ritsu from K-On! But with Ritsu, the voice doesn't fit at all. It's extremely jarring in the dub. But
which
her
voice? Oh, so you're talking about the American dub.
Yeah, I'm talking about the American dub. And, yeah, and then in Toradora, her voice fits perfectly for Taiga.
I'll have to, when I eventually watch K-On!, we'll see about that, weeb.
Watch K-On!
And other thing I'm gonna note just about this dub is that most of the voice actors aren't really like big name. Like the only one is Johnny Young Bosch, who plays Kitamura.
By the way, I heard a lot of people hate Johnny Young Bosch. Why is that?
I don't know. I think they have said that they feel like he doesn't differentiate between his roles enough or something.
No, he rapes kids like all the other dub voice actors.
Oh, that's why they hate him. Oh, it makes sense.
I thought anime fans would be into that.
True.
But only 2D. Like, 3D kids are not.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not in the realm of interest.
I know. I'm just making a stupid joke.
The thing is, I don't know. I've seen. I took I sampled a little bit of Eureka 7 dub, and he seems to do fine in that. Although I still rather watch Eureka 7 in the original dub.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly because. By the way, in case anyone doesn't know, in Eureka 7. The main character, Renton. Have any of you guys seen? Ray, I'm sure saw it because he's.
Yeah.
I've seen the first 14 episodes.
Dubbed or subbed?
Subbed.
The voice actor, but not voice actor, voice actress for Renton's voice.
Yeah.
I honestly was flabbergasted when I first because it's not usual to see early teenager characters be voiced by women, but I could not imagine that someone could mimic like an early boy's voice to that extent. I would never guess it was a woman playing Rantom.
Mm. I've heard a bit of the sub, and yeah, that's true. I agree.
It's truly.
But
I
alright.
think I wish we can pull it off very well too, but it goes even further than that. Can I talk a little bit about directing in Toradora?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, well, I said we because I thought we were guys who wanted to say something too. But okay, I'll go on. Because I think Toradora is we guys talked a lot about animation and facial expressions. I think one of the reasons why I gushed so hard with Toradora, especially after the second time I watched it, and it jumped like I had to watch some more of my other favorite anime just to make sure that Toradora wasn't my favorite after that one, after my second watch of it, because there is so much detail that there is. I think Toradora is possibly one of the best directing in the anime has possibly the best directed anime I've ever seen, because there is so much detail that you can be inferred by the animation alone. I could go on. So if I was going to do, I don't know, a breakdown of the entire series, half of it would be just me pointing out how certain facial expressions or some bits of dialogue say much more than what's in the surface, you know? And I find it remarkable, especially for the facial expressions, because for once they say so much about how they transpire so well the emotional states and the thoughts of the characters at that time. One of my favorite examples is in the can I give spoilers? I'm gonna give spoilers about the last episode.
Yeah, this is a spoiler show.
Yeah. So here's the thing. There is that scene in the last episode where Taiga and Ryuji are looking at the stars, and they start talking about, I don't know, either running away or making amends with their families. And there is one specific point where the camera focuses. Ryuji is talking, but the camera focuses on Taiga's expressions. And the expressions that he said alone just say so much about what she's thinking about, and gives us so much more insight in her decision for the last episode.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable thing. Another great example, episode 19, when Ryuji decides to be Santa Claus, and he's using that bear outfit.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, they completely apply his mannerisms while in the bear suit.
Yeah.
You can basically see the way he would act. He acts, like his body language. You can easily see that through the bear suit.
Yeah. That is something that's really cool about this show, is just that they really differentiate between the different characters using body language.
Hey, Yusaku, for example, he's always like she has a stiff figure. He looks like a very stiff and uptight person, but his mannerisms are very expansive.
Yeah.
Are very wild.
Yeah. He's a pretty good example of that.
He jumps on people with his arms all open.
Yeah.
Does a full prostration.
I forgot that it was called that.
Full prostration. I got that one. So I got that one only with the dub. I haven't seen that. I don't remember how it's in the sub, but good for young Bash. Good for young Bash on that one.
Yeah. And like it especially helps just because so many of the characters are kind of putting up facades. So I feel like you can always tell, not just because of like the writing and the line delivery and such, but also because they're always animated in a different way.
Yeah, and I think I like how they use kind of social masks in this show, and how they all like slowly shatter throughout the series, much like real life LMAO.
Yeah. It was honestly kind of amazing how with some of the characters they'd have the mask and then it would shatter like in private, but then in public they'd still keep it, and you'd go to a scene like that and you're like, whoa, I forgot how simultaneously nothing and everything has changed at the same time.
Yeah.
I think Tiger might be the one who wears the mask the least.
Probably.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I do think
Ryuji to some extent doesn't do much pretend. He's just expecting people to actually understand what kind of person he is.
Well, he does. He less pretends. He more just kind of hides. You know, like he always does that thing where he like pulls his hair forward a little bit to kind of mask his face a lot.
Yeah.
I guess this is turning into a discussion about the characters now. So I'm gonna touch on Ryuji and how one of his traits is a lot like me, because he is a very tall, mean-looking person who's everyone afraid of him. And I used to be like that, definitely. I used to always look like I'm pissed off. Or I still do. I still every day of my life I'm like, hey, why are you so angry? You look like you're about to fight somebody. I'm like, no, I'm fine. And I was like, yeah, I get it. It happens to me as well, I guess.
Oh, that might be just racial profiling.
Probably, but I live around black people, so
The answer is all of the above, as always.
But yeah, I always look like I'm going to kill somebody, but in reality, I'm fine.
You don't live in Chicago, do you?
I live in Atlanta.
Okay. Is it safer than Chicago?
Yes.
Okay. Because with a face like that, Chicago might be deadly to you.
Yeah, probably. But
I'm
anyway, yeah.
in the same state as Chicago, but I just look like a timid white guy. So
Yeah, Ray hasn't even seen a black person before.
Yeah, they're a bunch of enigmas. Yeah, I'm whiter than sour cream. That's the moral of the story.
That's the theme of Toradora. That's what I was trying to say the whole time.
It was trying to advocate for whiteness.
You see, the alt-right isn't everything these days. You can't trust anything, not even anime.
Wait.
The one thing you thought you could trust.
You said these days, but it came out 9 years ago.
Yeah, but fucking the Nazis have gotten so powerful. They
Okay,
now have time travel.
if anyone in Toradora is going to be a Nazi, I'm bet on Kushida.
Yes.
She seems to be the one the most. She seems to be the one who has the most to hide.
Appreciate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. First time I watched, when I first began watching, we're talking about the characters, right? Already.
Mm-hmm.
We're now talking about the characters.
It all flows into each other anyway.
Yeah, everything flows. Like that anime where the cat dies.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Cat soup.
There was a short anime called remember that Makoto Shinkai show called Kanojo to Kanojo no Neko, She and Her Cat?
Yeah.
and there was one she and her cat. Everything flows.
Oh.
And the cat, spoilers, the cat dies at the end.
Right.
So if you're a big cat person, you might cry. I'm a big cat person, but I don't cry because I don't have remote.
A soul.
Yeah, that too. I'm Brazilian. I don't have soul. Yeah, we came from monkeys. What did you expect?
But yeah, fucking Kushieda is the best character.
She's an interesting character. I think she's up there in terms of like my favorites from the show. Like not to the extent of Taiga and Ryuji. But like I like her.
Sorry. It's just because I heard Weeb and I thought, oh boy, we're gonna get into a hot one.
Oh no!
Your back's gonna be up against the wall, Goukeban.
Yeah, here's the thing. I wouldn't say that that Kushieda is a bad character, but I hate her personality. I hate Kushieda.
Well, yeah, I'm saying
You
that
mean,
she's
like
very well written. I'm not saying she's a good person, or
Yeah, it's not the Genki aspect of her, but it's how much she hides of herself while not
yeah,
helping at the same time.
yeah.
Because by comparison, when in the second episode, already, when Taiga first confesses to Kitamura, do you remember his reaction?
Yeah.
Kitamura just does the job, just does the service of cutting her off right there. He just goes on. Yeah, we can be good friends. I understand. I understand what you said. You expressed your feelings, but we can be good friends.
Yeah.
So he cut her off right there, so that she could develop her relationship with Ryuji. So he made his feelings quite clear at that point, so it wouldn't give her a false hope. And that's the point I hate about Kushieda, because she tries to put Ryuji off, but she doesn't do it in any way effectively or clearly enough that he knows, okay, there's no going forward between us, you know. So he stays in that doubt where he doesn't know what her real feelings are, and it gets that stalemate between he and Taiga. And that's, I think, and the fact that Kushieda pushes for other people to somewhat be honest with their feelings, but puts such a roadblock by not being honest about her own feelings, makes me really pissed off about her character.
Yeah, she's not a good person, but like, I feel like I can't really say that I hate her for that, because she starts to get better at the end of the show.
It was actually by the end of the show that I got more pissed off with her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole thing, like that whole thing where she keeps when she pressures Taiga in the classroom to reveal her feelings, and I'm thinking, you could have been honest about your feelings with Ryuji and actually give him and avoid this whole situation. You could avoid this if you want to say, oh no, I'm not gonna. We cannot be lovers. We cannot be in a relationship like that. She could be honest with Ryuji like that, and then he would possibly be able to get closer to Taiga in a smoother manner, in a softer manner. Wouldn't be such a shaky circumstances. Also, when she slaps Ryuji in the last episode, I hate her. I hate that her so much.
Yeah, that was a bit unreasonable.
Yeah,
I hate her. I didn't really think much of her before you
Oh my god.
fucking ranted about. But now I hate her. I wish she would die. She is a cuck queen.
Oh my
bitch.
god.
That's true.
I just crushed someone's feelings about someone else.
Yep.
Yeah, I will transcend into the anime world to
You
strangle
did
her.
this.
I don't. I'm not. I don't.
But
Nah,
also
I'm just joking around.
But
Going off to the other characters. Then, you wanna go?
I was just gonna say one more thing about Kushieda, that her like fucking act is very similar to how I act in real life. Except
Nice.
a lot more obnoxious and memey, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, I think with her, when I watched the show, at first I was kind of worried that she wasn't gonna get any development, but then she did towards the end, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Alright, but
As long
so,
as it's well written.
in terms of the other characters, I think the out of the main five, my least favorite was Ami.
Go on with.
Hold on 1 second.
Uh,
Fucking no. I hate her. I hate her more than Kushieda because, I mean, yes, she puts on even more of a facade, and I just hate everything about her personality. Like, I've met people like this in real life, and every time I have, it was terrible. I hate her. I just like, she's well written.
she's a
She's well
mean
written,
girl.
of course. But I get, and she's certainly understandable because she never really had real happiness in her life, and she is an actual celebrity.
I don't
Yeah.
know if
So-
the real happiness is the proper term, but real. She's involved in a professional career. Professional. What's the word?
She can't trust people. She has like stalkers and shit following her, and it's just like she never really has privacy or like had a real life.
Yeah, her professional work, her professional work is horrible. I know
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
redundant. And no, I'm talking about the redundancy I just said. I mean, her line of work is very based on the deception, and there doesn't have much honesty. No, she has people just fawning over her all the time.
Yeah.
She's not very used to honesty.
Yeah.
So I think her character arc is more about becoming less of a hypocrite and understanding better, dealing better with her own, learning to deal with her own her own interact with other people on her own, and making people like her based on getting people to know her by who she really is and actually like her by that.
I
as
guess
that person she really is.
in terms of her character arc, I do think that she's generally like a well-written character, but I do think in terms of her development that they almost front-loaded a bit, because like in the first 2 episodes that she's introduced, they have the whole thing with like the stalker guy, and so like they get a ton of character development there, and then I feel like she doesn't really ever develop like as much as that into like the last few episodes.
I don't know. Let me actually get the episode right after the student council arc. Which one is it?
17.
Okay, that episode I think is a good one for her development, because there is the whole another example of she not being used to real honesty. It's how people keep saying to her constantly, "Oh, you're so mature, Ami-chan. You already have work. You live by yourself. People take her that facade of maturity from her, and then Ryuji just drops on her like near the end. Oh, you're such a child.
Yeah,
Such a fucking edgelord.
that's right. That's another good episode. I forgot about that.
Because that's the point where she's looking for that kind of. I mean, she's used, of course, to being deceiving herself, and she goes on to being less deceiving over time and getting people to know her by herself, by her own nature, you know. But she also wants to. I think there is the idea that Ami respects more people who can accept her, who can
accept her fully.
But not also don't constantly fawn over her. People who are actually willing to say, "Hey, this part of you is not good."
She just wants an actual friend. She just wants somebody. Just yeah, someone just fucking talk to her like a normal human being.
You know, when we started this show, Weeb and I says to him, I was like, yeah, I bet most people who hate Taiga just kind of went off the impression they had in the first couple episodes.
Yeah, basically.
But now I've done that with Ami. So so that was bad. She's good. I always thought she was well written, but now I see that she's sympathetic as well.
She's definitely well written.
All the characters are sympathetic. And I think that's more important than being like likable on a surface level, is being overall sympathetic. It's why Evangelion is the best anime ever.
Is that a jab at me?
Yes.
Oh, of course. I'm gonna start hating on your favorites now, okay?
You already did, though.
Fun fact. I did my full rewatch of Toradora at the time I was writing my Eva review.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because when I got to the second half of Eva, I was feeling so bad because that I decided to watch something else to cheer me up, and then I ended up rewatching Toradora to completion again. And in that sense, I have a little bit to thank Evangelion, because Evangelion is kind of responsible to making me develop the critical mindset I have today. So, plus to the show in that regard. It actually made me, besides having to rewatch Evangelion and write about it, I got to rewatch Toradora and developed more of that inclination to look at an anime. Because I look at an anime, I think you can only assess how good a show is when you look at a moment-to-moment basis. You know, sometimes like every bit of dialogue is important to get like the big picture, and I kind of have Eva to thank for that. So yeah, when I first began watching Toradora, like back, it was in 2015. Which for anime was not the best years for me, but the best years personally. You know, where I get to watch a lot of the stuff I love today. But the thing is, I first began watching Toradora, and at the first episodes, it did give me a sour impression of Taiga, especially because she shares the same voice actors as Louise from Zero no Tsukaima.
Yeah.
Which is one of the worst characters ever. But it was the little nuance. Well, also her development as the series goes on, where she gains increasingly more depth and nice trait, and they progressively show more her good traits, but also the nuanced differences between her and Louise that make her actually a great character, and make her such a more likable figure. And I think it does make sense to that criticism. Like, if you base your decisions on if you base your opinion of Taiga or or Ryuji or Kitamura in the first, because Kitamura was a character I didn't like for the first half because he seemed like such a Mary Sue. But then comes the student council arc where they actually give him some weakness and made him such a more compelling and layered figure, such a more dynamic character.
Yeah, they add a lot more layers to him.
Because actually, when I got to rewatch the show, I got to see a little bit of more of his nuance as a character in the first episode, in the first half. But the student council arc is really good at actually exposing him fully. So the thing is, if you base your opinion of the characters in Toradora in the first episode and never pay attention to the rest of the development, it might be the reason some people might not like the show, might like the characters, because you have to pay attention, you have to give that time for them to expose themselves.
Sometimes when they expose themselves, it's pleasant. Other times, it's not.
Yeah, and I think the only other thing that I could see people like not really liking the characters for is so I feel like in most shows that place an emphasis on character development, they might go back and forth a little bit, but ultimately the change is fairly linear. I feel like Toradora very much goes back and forth a lot.
Would that be a positive or a negative?
A little bit of both. Like, I don't know. There would be times where, like, during the end of the show, Taiga would like still call someone a name or something that she used at the beginning, and I'd be like, but aren't we like past this now?
In what instance, for example? Because, for example, when she calls Zami a stupid chihuahua.
Yep.
Originally, that's supposed to be mean-spirited, but you can notice that it does turn into somewhat of a bittersweet expression of friendship, you know?
Yeah, it does. It gets a little less antagonistic, but still, like, sometimes those two fighting in particular felt kind of status quo-y to me. But I don't know.
For example, there is some points, for example, when they're at a dinner table, and she actually starts saying "abakachi" in a friendly manner. You can notice that in her voice. I think it makes sense for some core traits of the character to be kept, because ultimately, if you completely shift a character's personality, it might as well be two different people.
True.
I mean, I think some core aspects of the character have to be kept away. Like Taiga is always going to be a very abrasive person. She's naturally defensive. She's naturally defensive and a bit has anger issues.
Yeah, I do think that it's important that they keep some of the base traits. It's just that sometimes they'd kind of pop back up, and I'd kind of think and I'd be like, I feel like they just gave a big speech about like not being totally done with this, but like starting to move past it. That is one interesting thing with this show. I remember when I watched the ending, I was surprised at how
Perfect.
I was surprised at how it didn't really seem to be like definitively conclusive. Like there's still it was interesting to me. I think I kind of assumed that the show was gonna end with like a graduation or something like that. With this show, with the ending, I like it, but like it was I was still very slightly disappointed by it.
Fuck you.
I don't know.
No, let's hear him. Let's not burn him at the stake yet.
It was a bit less conclusive than I think I'd like. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of, like, at the end, it's all this, like, well, we've all had these massive changes in our lives. Back to our routines. And that's realistic, yeah, but that's not what I wanted.
Well, I think it kind of, gives me hope and comfort, because it's like, oh, they're all gonna still do their thing and be okay. And, it's exactly what I wanted. I think it's exactly, it did very well what it was, setting out to do. And also, I think, the whole, like, oh, here's a little bit of development, but then we kind of bounce back is, actually a good thing. 100%.
Yeah, the bad thing is when it attempts like a step forward and then do like two steps back, where it completely reverts status quo.
But, like, here's the thing, like, you have to learn things repeatedly to actually have some change. I mean, change will be there, but people don't, change altogether due to, like, one incident or two incidents.
Yeah, I mean, good example. I'm gonna go back to Zero no Tsukaima again. The main couple would have, like, one nice moment where supposedly some romantic development would get between them, but then some stupid misunderstanding would happen, and then they would revert to beat each other.
Yeah, that's a bad example.
I guess, yeah, you do have to learn things multiple times, but I kind of feel like... I feel like in this show, the fact that it gets more melodramatic, it kind of made me feel like they should have made some of the things stick a bit more.
Yeah, but I think it's a bit more subtle.
It seems like
it's just too subtle for me.
At least when drama,
it's too smart for Ray the Offbeat Otaku.
It's too Toradora is too deep for Ray.
Yep.
But I think when it comes to drama, Toradora scales pretty nicely, because it doesn't jump. It doesn't have any specific jump in drama. It progressively raises the emotional impact.
Yes, I totally agree. In terms of tone progression and general plot development, the show is near perfectly paced.
It is perfect, and also it's like I'd say especially within the episode, and it changes from tone to tone. It's not like this jarring shift, which would be valid, but I think the way it smoothly transitions from tone to tone is amazing. Like, they'll just go from funny to like emotional and serious in a matter of like seconds, but it doesn't feel like it was forced in.
Christmas arc, for example.
Oh.
Because the real big thing about the Christmas arc is the very end of the student council arc, when Ami does that initial confrontation with Minori, and that thing has a huge impact in that arc, in the Christmas arc, because it creates that gap between the Minori and Taiga.
Yeah. Shit, I had something I was gonna say and then I lost track.
I understand.
I'm a professional podcaster.
I think it's supposed to happen with even the not so good podcasters.
True.
Even the popular ones.
Yeah. Oh, yes. About the series progression. You hear one of the big things you hear about the show is people saying they'll be like, oh, well, you have the first half, which is a silly rom-com, and then you have the second half where it becomes really dramatic. But that's not really the case at all. It's more just that the kind of the tone at large shifts, but like episode to episode, there isn't like one episode where it suddenly becomes a different show.
Yeah. It all feels like it's within the same show, but it's on a spectrum, much like all of us here.
Yeah, dude.
We're on a spectrum? I thought we were supposed to be a hive mind.
Nope.
Well, in order to be a hive mind, we all must have good taste, and one of us doesn't like Ava.
And two of us like Ava.
One of us likes Erased.
What the fuck? Who?
Goukeban.
We can do a podcast on Erased later.
Yeah.
And I can school you guys why the anime is so good. Okay?
Sure, Jeff.
Why? Hey, screw Jeff. Jeff sucks at defending Erased. Okay? I'm better than Jeff in that regard.
There's so many ways that anime can draw us in.
Oh, Ray, your audio just cut off as you're doing the echo.
Beautiful.
There's so many ways cut.
Oh, I was just referencing the catchphrase that he should still have but doesn't.
Who?
Jeff, yeah.
Which catchphrase?
I'm doing the echo again. There's so many ways that anime can draw us in.
There's many ways what?
That anime can draw us in. That's the thing.
There's so many ways anime can draw us in. That's true. The guy speaks truth. I mean, he's not very good at defending an excellent show that he should be better at defending, but he's right in that regard, you know. And we can do a podcast about that sometime.
Yeah.
I can tell you guys why Erased is an excellent anime.
Okay, but back to the other autism at hand, Toradora.
Japan has graced us with an enormous spectrum of autism in the form of anime. Okay.
Yes.
This is why it's the best medium. I relate to it more heavily as a result.
Japan is an autistic species. The Japanese are autistic species.
Japan, the species of humanity.
Hey, if they brought us anime, they might be the most evolved species on Earth. Okay.
Oh, definitely. They are the most woke people.
We're getting on a dangerous territory, folks. Okay.
We've been in a dangerous territory from before this began.
Okay, going back to Toradora. Weeb, what did you want to say about Toradora next?
The fucking mom and the bird. That was a funny dynamic. I mean, the whole fucking Ryuji's family, just kind of the whole thing with them is just kind of, you always can rely on those scenes to kind of take the edge off the show, relax from all the drama, and you get something somewhat wholesome, as wholesome the show can get at times like these.
But
there's nothing more wholesome than the kiss. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
That kiss, I joked once with Ray. That kiss scene is gonna kill me someday. Because the cuteness of that moment is just so precious. It just,
I know.
There has never been a better kiss scene in any media ever. It's the most perfect organic thing. It is the most beautiful thing. You could bring up anything that exists in the world. It wouldn't be better than that. And if you say it's better, then you are fucking retarded. You need to be shipped off to a fucking lab where they put your brain into a fucking robot's brain, and the robots get gets
Hey,
fucking
hey,
pushed
hey.
off in a cliff because you're retarded, and retards don't deserve to live.
Hey, let's not talk about Germanic politics, okay?
We're instilling Germanic politics because of this. We're going to create a fucking religion because that centers around this kiss scene. I'm not kidding. This is the kiss scene is God. It's just my God. I love yeah. Bitch.
Okay, so the reason why that is amazing is because they could have been a bunch of hack frauds and played it to be like super dramatic, like set it at sunset, go
Yeah.
for the big music, but no, they didn't do that. It was down to earth.
Can we go back to? Can we actually come back to the kiss, to the discussing the kiss later? Because I want to
Sure.
talk something about the family theme, family idea, how that
Ah.
Weeb brought up.
Well,
'Cause
Weeb,
I-
I was gonna say, Weeb. How can you take the edge off when the only thought in your head is "Be gone, thought."
This is true. I as a misogynist and thought patrol agent, it didn't take the edge off for me.
I'm actually lost. I know what thought means, but I'm lost on the joke, you guys are.
The joke is that WeebTrashProductions is the ultimate thought patrol, and we think Ryuji's mom is a thought, but not actually. It's a meme. She's actually a great character, especially because she starts off as like a comedic relief, but then she gets like a dramatic arc. Well, not really arc. Yeah, she has an arc.
Because
She's
that's
like
the
an-
thing, I think. Go on, Weeb.
She's actually like probably like the strongest character emotionally in the show. She has to go through a lot, and she's willing to do
Oh yeah.
really anything for Ryuji.
Well, you can say that comparatively, considering how much of a wreck the main characters are.
Well,
Yeah.
Because like all the other characters are like emotional wrecks who they're all fucking horrifying. I deal with people like that every day. I hate all the people in the series except for Taiga. I'm kidding. Anyway, but yeah, also the bird is the deepest character.
I think the strongest character, the strongest character arc we can discuss in this podcast is Weeb's character during the podcast. He's going through a big emotional turmoil. He's coming from loving to hating characters, to hating everyone, to loving Ryuji's mom, to loving only Taiga.
Yeah, my arc is more in the background. I had that. I've been subtly changing opinions the whole time. I only really came up front with Ami.
I just have a need to express every emotion this show gives me at once.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm gonna, if you don't mind, there is something I want to talk about because we brought up the family dynamic, the moments between family in the show. Family,
Yeah.
because Taiga takes the Ryuji and Yasuko as kind of a surrogate family in that regard,
Yeah.
and stuff. Stuff
Yeah.
subtly changes between them in that point. But I think one of the most interesting things people miss in the show is that Toradora has in the background. They have the main theme in the first for the majority of the show. They have this main theme of the main characters understanding difference between crush and love, and how to express their real feelings and how to understand their feelings for other characters. But it has in the background this theme of family that appears when
Yeah.
that appears in moments between Taig. Oh, it comes into, it has a huge effect on Taiga and on that arc with her father, the cultural festival arc, because it has that. It has they bring up the tension, the rough relationship she has with her family, how she's not in very good terms with them, and how her father is distant and is very much a dick. Very much a dick. I was trying to put up some term that make me look smart, but he's very much a dick and doesn't have like a good way of handling his daughter. So they have that strain in their relationship.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the whole series has that theme of family in the background. But as soon as past the Christmas episode, not past the Christmas episode, but past Taiga's confession, when Ryuji hears Taiga say she loves him.
Yeah.
It shifts. It slowly shifts to a theme of family that comes up in full force in the last 3 episodes. So, and I think that's the strongest point. That's the most important thing to take off to look for in the last few episodes. It's how it focuses. It shifts. It puts the theme of family in focus, and works with that. And it's the most important thing that you have to take into consideration during the conclusion.
I agree. I think it handles that theme of family pretty well.
Deep themes, bro!
The themes, dude. It's the
Dank themes.
The thematic themes of the show with themes, because I am an intelligence analyst.
Yeah, if the show doesn't have deep themes, it's not good, folks.
True, but bro, actually not, dude.
Fucking oh yeah, the theme of family is that not all. It's not all blood and shit. It's good. It's like
what?
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 What? I don't even
not
know what
blood
I just said.
I don't have it either. It's not blood and it's blood and
no, I mean
it's not Macbeth. They're not stabbing people behind curtains.
You don't have to be related.
Taiga doesn't stab anyone behind a curtain and initiates a bloodbath.
Hello, it is me, that anime snob. I am here to say, without a proper level of gore, this show is fucking
By
shit.
blood, I meant relating. You don't have to relate to be related to someone in order to be family, and it's great, and it's fucking. And I like how they accept Taiga, their family, and also fucking. Taiga's dad is the worst person I've ever seen. You know how I said I hated a lot of the main characters? I take that away. My hate is directed towards Taiga's not just dad, but mom as well. They're terrible people. They're both terrible people, and they both just worry about themselves and their reputation more than their actual child. And
her mom seems to be very much a person that doesn't have a good handling of responsibility.
Yeah.
She
reminds me of a lot of moms I see in real life or what friends tell me about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray, what would be Toradora with a level of gar?
Oh no. Okay.
Who is the most likely one to be Kenshiro?
Okay, so first thing that changes is it's not set in the current year anymore. Instead, Toradora Gar Edition is set in a post-apocalyptic high school where every day they must fight off zombies just to get to school on time. All the melodrama is handled via punching and screaming.
And they're also
a lot like JoJo.
The main character, there's like a bait and switch where at first you think the main character is is Ryuji, but it's not Ryuji because he's not Gar enough because he cooks and cleans fam lamb. So it's got to be someone else. So it's got to be someone else. Maybe it's Kitamura, but when he takes off the glasses, he gets laser eyes.
Now, when he takes off the glasses and his shirt, and he exposes his manly, sexy abs, you know?
Yes. That, exactly.
And then he goes the watatata movement.
He is constantly approached by girls who love him, but he is just saving his feelings for the one who abandoned him all those years ago.
Mm-hmm. And there is only manly crying.
Yes.
Manly tears, dude. Fucking fags.
Oh, dude, bro, I only cry manly tears, dude.
Manly tears. The ones I never shed, because I don't shed tears.
I shed tears with my dick.
Oh, dude.
Bitches. And
Same,
then I
bro.
go to the gym, and then I go, prosecute against minorities. Bro.
Yeah. Bro, that's my favorite pastime.
But aren't you a minority? Which minority, will you prosecute?
Well, according to Critical, he's not black. So...
Oh.
They can't accept that I can be a fucking mixed person.
If Critical says it, it is the truth.
It is me,
But Critical is Norwegian. Critical is Norwegian. How can you take him seriously?
No reason.
How can we take someone from Scandinavia seriously? You know, their opinions don't matter.
But cooked by the laws of aerodynamics is a good boy, and he's from
Indeed.
Norway.
AKA Arrow.
Yeah. It is me, Critical. Attack on Titan is a 10 out of 10. It's
Attack on Titan is a great anime. Attack on Titan is a great anime.
Fucking... I see why they call you King Pleb the Third.
It strikes me as alright.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm planning on rewatching the first season so I can watch the second one. And we can go back to this discussion later and I can prove to you guys. I can prove! Because I have the objective knowledge quality. I can prove you guys that Attack on Titan is a great anime. It's a very flawed anime, but it's great.
So, anyway, Toradora, let's talk a bit about our two leads, and then wrap up a bit, because we're about an hour and a half in now. And
we can go 2 hours.
Yeah, we can, but I feel like once we get past them, we won't have a lot to say.
I actually don't know if I'm gonna listen to this podcast because I hate my voice.
I'll probably give it one listen, and then regret my life choices.
I will kill the internet. Anyway, the two leads. First of all, Taiga is the best girl, out of anything ever. She's great. I love her. With tsundere types, even if they're good, I usually wouldn't have the patience to mine through all the harsh cold to get to the diamond. But you know what? I can make an exception with Taiga. She's just too fucking... in her heart, she's just too pure. It's too...
Taiga...
she's so sweet. Yeah.
Alright, so with tsunderes, there's type 1, where they start off being
Type
abrasive.
1 diabetes.
Shut up. Where they start off abrasive, but then they get nice. And then there's type 2, where they go back and forth the whole time. Taiga, I think, is the best way you could execute type 2.
Yes.
Well, the point is that she never drops her. I think when we talked about back and forth, I thought you were talking about the bad type. You know, the ones that don't really develop.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that, she does develop, while doing that, and that's why it's great. And especially just sometimes you get like a little subtle moment after, like, I feel like sometimes you can tell that even she is putting up a bit of an act, and then like, you know, like she'll say something, but then she'll give a little smile, and you're like, oh, you kind of know what's up.
When she evolves to Talon, it's great.
Talon. I say Talon is best girl.
Yes, Talon is the best girl.
Agreed.
But yeah, fucking, it's all worth it once you get to her smile and everything is just, I just want her to be happy. God damn it.
Loli went up.
She is top lolly.
She's up.
Have you guys ever seen this image?
Which image?
It's a picture when that moment where Taiga is going, he said, "Oh ha!" You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The "oh ha" moment, when she says that, there's a joke where she's with the hands like that, and in the bottom, Loli went up.
Yeah.
Lolly, what up? Nice.
Oh yeah, you're definitely getting something up, all right.
My penis!
Ray.
Our funny joke family.
Ray. Police. Now.
I
Police.
like cartoon children. That's my quirk.
Yeah, bro. This is just one of the many deep characters of the Ray the Offbeat Otaku anime series.
Who's the villain?
The villain is Seabass.
Oh, that makes sense.
Taiga want up. Gonna give that an okay hand.
Same. Editor, put it on screen or I'll kill you.
You heard us, irrelevant. Then, edit in a fresh, spicy meme.
Actually, go full plebe in the weeb and just make this a whole fucking production. That does not need to exist, but it does, and it's great. Anyway.
Just put like the three puppets on screen and it's our faces.
Yeah!
Yeah, dude.
No, we're all sock puppets. I'm gonna make sock puppets out of each of us. And then
we put each one's avatar.
Yes. But yeah, fucking,
But yeah.
the main lead. The romance is the best romance of all time.
Yeah, they are a great couple.
I love their dynamic.
I think my biggest surprise in this podcast is realizing that Weeb Trash gushes harder than me. Because I can gush pretty hard on Toradora, but Weebcast just goes full meme.
Weeb is either full plebe or full weeb. No in between.
I think he's full meme.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, by the way, we were talking
That's
about
the only way to live. Full
By the
meme.
way, we were talking about I forgot. We were talking about songs later and mentioned in passing this opening. Just I think Silk Heart is a better written song. You know, even
Like,
if it's not as
lyrically, you
catchy.
mean?
Yeah, it's not as catchy as Free Parade, but it's more. It's better written. It expresses better what the show is about.
I guess so. Like,
Orange is the greatest.
So much better.
Orange, though, is the greatest ending of all time.
Yes, I agree.
Because that song, if you look at the lyrics of that song, it's such a perfect match for Toradora.
I need to read the lyrics.
I haven't read the lyrics to any of these, so I don't know shit. But I just know that all of them are pretty good.
But Ray, if it's not Coheed or Gorillaz or Daft Punk, it's not worth listening to.
Stop. Don't you stereotype me, WeebTrashProductions.
Okay.
You're only allowed to stereotype yourself.
Fried chicken and shooting people. That's what I like to do.
Yep,
Anyway.
just as much as I like to show up to a nice cubicle in a suit and tie.
And then Goukeban likes to, I don't know, sell drugs and rob people because Brazilians.
No, I provide the U.S. with cocaine and prostitutes.
Yeah. So you're the real hero.
He's the hero we need, but not the one we deserve.
But not the one that is going to be allowed in your country.
Yep, unfortunately. Alright, so... alright, we're getting a bit off track. Yeah. I remember a certain someone who I'm not gonna name, and if you name him Weeb, I'm gonna tell my slave, I mean editor, to edit out you saying that.
Okay.
But there's this guy we know who had said that he didn't think Taiga and Ryuji would make that good of a couple. He likes the show a lot, but he thinks that their relationship isn't particularly healthy because he was like, well, they both are just providing things the other needs. It's like drugs, bro. And I'm like, and see what I see it as is like you clearly see in the show that they're both like that they're both kind of helping each other improve as people in general.
Ray's dead.
He's dead.
The guy who shall not be named killed him.
Oh my god.
Damn it, Ray. Say something! Fuck. Ray...
Let's try moving this on while he's...
Okay, sorry, my fucking computer froze. It froze very briefly earlier when Goukeban was talking, but I picked up what he said at the end, so it didn't matter. But this time I was talking, so it did matter. Okay, where the fuck was I?
You're saying my lived experiences don't matter?
What I'm saying is, yes. What I'm also saying is that, this guy was saying, they're just getting together because they provide each other the basic needs. But I was kind of thinking when I watched the show is that that's more of the baseline. Like that is what is necessary for them to then kind of grow in different ways beyond that.
You can yeah, it starts off like that. That's definitely like the base of what their relationship is, but it develops into like a true bond.
Yeah,
and it's great. It's wholesome, and their dynamic is just the best. And it's very obvious they're a perfect couple. So yeah, guy that I won't name, fuck you. I will debate you on this probably tonight.
I will debate you with a knife.
I'll debate you with a knife and a noose and a car, and all three of those things will kill you. They'll have a part in your death.
All three of those in Charlottesville.
All three at once.
Okay. Let me see. I think one of the greatest things about the dynamic. I hear a lot of people say that complain that Taiga doesn't help Ryuji with Minori, which is an outright lie.
Yeah, that's fucking gay.
Because you can see like the episode 2, the summer vacation arc, all of that. She helping him. The Christmas arc is all about that. But the thing is, I think the most interesting thing is that Taiga's realization of her love for Ryuji is a very sudden thing. But you can notice you can, and on the side of Ryuji, it's interesting to note how progressively he begins to put Taiga over me. She begins to take Taiga as a higher priority than Minori. I think that's the most interesting part of noticing how he develops his feelings for her, because multiple occasions he would think more about Minori, as she's supposed to be the one he is interested, but he prioritizes Taiga, as he seems, not only because he cares about her, but it seems like because he feels like he feels like she's someone that needs him, and he needs to be there for her.
Taiga needs someone, and Ryuji needs someone to need him.
Yes.
I think I heard someone make an argument once that Ryuji's whole nature of being very clean and doing a lot of stuff for people comes from his desire to be accepted beyond his appearance, because people are so afraid of his appearance that he creates that habit of being helpful and a good housewife to get people to notice him for that quality, to understand his qualities and his kind nature. It's a way of it, he has to be accepted.
Yeah.
And then comes the point where Taiga begins to need him. I heard, like, there is that saying, like, the raison d'etre of man is to be needed. Is to be needed and to protect and provide for women. And Ryuji's a great example of that. He's a guy who has that great desire to be needed, to be useful, to protect and provide.
Yeah, no. He is pretty great in that regard.
Yes. And yeah. I guess that's why another big reason why the show appeals to me specifically is because I kind of want someone like that, someone I can just protect and provide for, but I don't have.
I think that might be one of the biggest appeals of Taiga, because she's aggressive and all, but she's not someone who is completely hostile to help. You know, she's not someone who refuses, who puts that hard shell that she doesn't need anyone.
She's strong but vulnerable, and they don't have to sacrifice her integrity as a character to do that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how you gotta write a strong tsundere, is you have to make them strong but vulnerable. And this is why a character like Asuna from SAO is so hated, because they had to sacrifice the integrity of the character and make her a damsel in distress.
I haven't seen SAO.
Good.
Yeah.
There's no reason to.
SAO is just a meme by now. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I just thought it was a good example.
Yeah.
I decided to not watch Black Clover exactly because of how people were just raging over it as a meme. It seems to be the show that this season that people just want to jump on a hate bandwagon. So not gonna get into that.
So all right. What else do we want to say here?
I don't think we really have much to say. I mean, if I would summarize the entire show, it's a great romance. It's a melodramatic romance that gets everything right. Well, probably not everything.
It's a great coming-of-age story.
Yeah, it's a great coming-of-age story. And it's done with more subtlety than a lot of coming-of-age stories.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like about the show, is how I like that everyone kind of has to come of age in different ways. You know what I mean?
Someone mastered the modern tsundere formula. You never didn't think it could happen, but it did.
Mm-hmm. I think we can talk about the last few episodes and why the ending is so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Red pill me, guys.
Why, you don't think the ending is perfect?
I already said that earlier, though.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, we were talking about how the main theme shifts from understanding real affection into the theme of family, and I think the great point on that is how it plays into Taiga's final decision in the show in the last episode. Because I know a lot of people harp on. I wonder how many of them watched to the end credits. A lot of people harp on Taiga's decision at the end, but it makes perfect sense in relation to the theme, to the family idea, because
Yes.
she saw Ryuji have that big what's the word? She saw him has that big fight with his mother.
Yeah.
I set off for fight because I wanted a better word, but I couldn't remember. But he has that big fight with his mother, and they make that really hasty
Accusation?
No, he has he runs away from his mother because after their fight, and Ryuji and Taiga have that hasty confession where they
into a river.
The river,
yeah, and they attempt to run away, but then when they go to Ryuji's house to get some stuff, they decided to go to their grandparents, and after that big fight, Ryuji in just a matter of days just reattaches just reconnects to his mother, and everything is solved, and they solve things very positively among themselves, because Ryuji didn't knew about his father and the reality about his father and his mother's relationship with her parents, because her mother also had not connected with her parents, his mother, but Ryuji's mother had not talked to her parents in years because she actually ran away from them when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have that big event where she finally talks with her parents in years. They have to lie, say that Ryuji has suffered an accident for her to come over.
Yeah.
And he makes amendments with his mother, and everything goes back to being okay again with his family, and that has a big impact on Taiga because for years her relation with her family has been very abrasive and rough, and when she sees him, just makes things up, makes amendments like that, and when they are talking about when they're talking to in the bedroom later about actually not running away, not doing the same mistake Ryuji's mother did, and getting their family's approval to finally get married later, has a big influence in Taiga deciding to move away and actually reconnect and make amendments with family by her own, on her own methods, on her own way.
That's part of the way that she has to grow up.
Audio is off again!
He's dead.
I said that's part of the way that she has to grow up.
Yeah. But, also, fucking, in a more broad sense, I really like how the ending is like this big clusterfuck of emotions, and then it kind of gets to a really sweet spot, and it's perfect in general structural sense, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it's going everywhere, emotionally, tonally, and emotionally speaking. But then it ties everything. It connects everything in the end. It has a meaning behind everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, but yeah, the ending is the perfect ending.
The ending is perfect.
Because fucking a lot of what Goukeban said.
Goukeban.
I don't know how your name is not a name, but
Yeah, it's not a name anyway.
I probably would have assumed it was Goukeban too.
A lot of people
Actually-
just call me Goukeban for some
Well,
reason.
Actually, wait. When I first met, I thought it was a Goukeban, but no, it's Ban.
Goukeban.
But yeah, do we want to wrap this up or do we have more to say?
So-
We're talking.
I think we wrap it up.
Can talk about how much kiss fake outs are the worst thing in anime.
I don't even think we need to add that to it. I think it's just a fact. And if
Yeah, 'cause
and-
How
and
many
if you don't-
series have you seen end up like that? I've seen like there is Netoge that anime from last year. Netoge. There's second season of Chunibyo where they do this horrible thing where they try to kiss, but then something interrupts them the most retarded way possible, and they goes, there is no reason to rush. No! There is reason to rush.
Just do it.
Yeah, it's the point. Like a kiss in a romance anime, I think it's obligatory because it's the thing that makes us know, okay, it has closure. We got the ending we needed.
I swear to God, I'm at the point right now. If I see that one more time, I will throw a glass bottle at my computer screen and say, if someone doesn't grab someone's pussy right now, I'm going to kill someone.
Who doesn't what?
This is
we-
a hentai week.
We actually gone to Trump now.
I am Trump.
We've had enough racism jokes. He's been there the whole time.
Have I spent my racism card? Have I spent all my racism joke credits for this episode?
You're black. You can't be racist.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm also white, so I am by default.
Yeah,
racist.
you need to go to those one of those games where they reward you with tickets. Those are your racism tickets. You need to go and buy more
For each podcast.
For each podcast, yes.
I actually didn't catch up if you were actually saying Trump or saying some anime character's name grabbing someone's pussy.
He just said someone.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't get their pussy grabbed.
Yeah.
I'm salivating right now.
Alright. Okay. So, to sum up, Toradora is not only a great... It's not only great in that, it's animated and directed well, to the point that even though it's a romance show, it has, 2 incredibly well-directed fight scenes. And that it has great music. And that it's entertaining and funny. It's not just good on that level, it's also good in that it touches on a lot of real stuff, especially if you're at the age of the characters. I'd say it's a must watch, even if it's...
Ray, you are at the age of the characters.
And the age where you're bound to make stupid decisions.
Yes.
Nah.
Hasty decisions.
Yeah, which, on that regard, I'm almost a bit surprised that I wouldn't give it a 10, but I would give it an 8.8, and which rounds up to a 9.
It's a I'm feeling a light to decent 9 on this one.
Yeah.
I just give it a 10, full 10.
Yeah,
I'm saying, Toradora is one of the best examples of the kind of writing I want in a show. Where that kind of writing and development, where like each moment gives me something to read into the characters, something gives me some insight into the character. Every facial expression, every bit of dialogue it adds, just says something about, just adds, not sometimes not adds, most of the time doesn't not add, but says something about the characters, and it adds with nuance. It progresses with nuance, but it's always there to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, with all of this said, that was the Otacast. Say a quirky goodbye, Weeb.
Haha, remember that one time where I fucking killed everyone? Yeah,
Dude,
that was
same. Now you, Goukeban.
I wasn't in Columbine, okay? I wasn't involved with this.
You helped me in the inside job. All right, bye.
No, I didn't help you in your school shooting practices, okay? I was just here writing my review, which you can find on Mal because they are the best. They're in.
I know that's not true, because I have the same alibi. Okay. Anyway, goodbye, everyone. See you on the next episode of the Otacast.
Weeb is closing the door.
I'm trying to do the thing. There we go.